No one's life is always sunshine and roses. Everyone has bad days once in a while. That is what it is to be human. Hello, this is Sandra Hart at Life Over 60. Thank you ever so much for joining me today and spending a few minutes with me. This is not the video that I planned to put up today. I had another one scheduled, but something happened the other day that made me really want to do this video now. And it's all about parents and children and memories and all of those things put together, and happiness and opportunities. I really had a bad week last week. A lot of things were going on, and I'm human just like you are, and no one's life is ever a bed of roses. If you're a human being, you know that it just is not real. Everybody has lumps and bumps in their lives and hills and valleys. Well, last week really was quite a week for me. And my son this week, if you know, he's a musician. His name is Emerson Hart. He's the lead singer of a very famous 90s rock band called Tonic. And he's had a lot of big hits and written for movies and all of those things. So of all of my children, I'm very proud of each of them. But I'm so happy that every single one of them have been able to follow their dreams and their careers. Well, today music is so different. Instead of just putting out the whole album today because of streaming, most artists put out an album, but they do it one song at a time. And so he put out his first song, I think it was on Friday of this week. And of course, he sent me the whole album digitally, so that, by Dropbox, so that I could listen to it. Well, after an especially difficult day, I woke up that morning feeling a little depressed and wondering, what if things were going to get better. And I happened to come upon this one song. And the songs in his album deal with stories. Each song in the album is a story. My son is a storyteller. Well, the second song, I guess the third song maybe, came on, and it was all about happiness. Well, and I'm going to cry probably right now when I think of this. The lyrics to that song hit me so hard that I began to cry. I was blubbering, my eyes were tearing, my nose was running, and I just really couldn't control myself because all of that pent up stress from the week before his song had just opened the floodgates. Well, in an impromptu moment, I thought, oh, I have to call him. I really have to call my son and tell him how proud I am and how much that song meant to me. So I called him on my iPhone, and I didn't have it on speaker. I thought I had it on speaker, so I was saying, Emerson, I'm just listening to your song. And he says, Mother, I can't hear you. And then I realized I didn't have it on speaker, so I put it on speaker, and I continued to blubber, and I could hardly get out the words. Emerson, I'm so proud of you. This song meant so much to me. I can't tell you, how blessed you are to have, this talent, and I'm blessed to be your mother, and all these things. And I was crying. I could hardly get the words out. Well, that is so not like me. In my lifetime with my kids, I've always been sort of the take charge person and tried not to stress them out with everything that was going on around them. And my son said, Mother, thank you so much. I am so happy. But please, I thought somebody had died. So go figure. And that was a lesson for me to let your emotions flow and be in the moment, but you don't have to call your son when you are having a meltdown or your child. You have to wait a few minutes for that. But it started me thinking about happiness. And the title of my son's album is Past Conversations in Future Rooms. Now, I want you to think about that. I could not say that so poetically. Past conversations in future rooms. And what he's saying, the people that we meet along the way who have influenced us or who have made an impression upon us in some way, that is what leads us to who we are today and the conversations that we have as the being that we are now through all those life experiences. They say that we are the sum of the 5 people that we surround ourselves with, and I interpret that in my own way as that we are the sum, as perhaps the 5 people in our lives who have influenced us. Now, I want you to think about that. Look back at your life and look back at the various years and periods when you were growing up and maybe in business and so forth. Who are the people that you can look back on and say, they made a difference. They influenced me. I have 5 people that I've thought about. When I was a teenager, I was in a choir in church, and our choir director graduated from the Princeton Choir College. She seemed like an older woman then, but probably now she was just graduated from college, so she probably was about 21 or 22. But she gave me the courage to realize that I could sing. She made me feel so good about myself that I need not be afraid to get up and sing in front of people, because I had a gift that I was embarrassed to use and that I didn't believe in. And another person that really helped me was when I was in college, and I belonged to a sorority. Tri Delt was the name of the sorority. And I had a big sister. That's in sororities, you get a big sister, and they kind of help mentor you along the way. Well, I spent a summer with her and her aunt, who was a diplomat, in the Chesapeake area, and so we went barefoot all summer. But she taught me good values. I mean, not that my parents didn't, and actually my mother probably was the first one who influenced me. She was the one who encouraged me to go to romper room, even though I felt I didn't have any of the qualifications. My mother always had my back, so I probably would say that she was one of the first persons that influenced me. But Patricia showed me what it's like to be more worldly. I grew up in this small town in Ohio, so I really didn't have that worldly experience. But because she was exposed to all of that, and her aunt was, very worldly, being a diplomat, it showed me the possibilities of what I could do beyond my little world and beyond my little scope. The next person that I would say influenced me was when I went to New York. I belonged to the Marble Collegiate Church, and Norman Vincent Peale was the pastor at that church, and he had written a book called The Power of Positive Thinking. Well, I got that book, and I was in my 20s, and I read it, and it also gave me the knowledge that we are what we think. Positive thinking will help you all through life, even in the negative situations that we all have. Positive thinking really is a strong, strong tool for you to have. And also, he taught me to really rely on my faith, to rely on a higher power with the positive attitude that I could do anything if I was willing to work hard and take risks. The next one was a negative experience. But that negative experience made me the person that I am today, and that was going through my husband's illness and his tragedy. That made me understand suffering. That made me understanding responsibility. And I was able to get through that with all of these strengths that came to me that I never even knew that I had. How often I've said here that sometimes adversity makes you stronger. You get up off of your knees, you dust yourself off, and you move forward. I took a positive path, and I took something very positive about that extremely negative period in my life. And last but not least, my fifth is my children. My children have given me the will to live a better life. They have given me the best purpose I have ever had in my life. Those are the 5 people, or 5 groups of people, that really have made a difference to me in my life. And I had never thought about it before, ever, until I listened to my son's music and all of these stories that he has told about people that he has met along the way. And it really is true. Our past conversations bring us to future rooms. I was so moved, and I just had to share that with you. I want you to think about 5 people in your life, or 5 experiences you've had with people in your life have molded you to be the person that you are today. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. You know how I feel about each and every one of you. Please be good to yourself today, and as I always say, be kind to whomever crosses your path. Let's all share the love and pray for world peace, and let's all understand that no one's life is always sunshine and roses. Everyone has bad days, and that's what it is to be human. Take care, and I hope to see you next Tuesday.